Hi, my name is Karina. Today we'll be doing a kidney dissection for Biology 221 lab. Here is the kidney. I'll close it up. So first we see the outside, which is called the renal capsule. This just encases everything that's important on the inside and helps keep the kidney shape. Then we will move on to this indentation here, which is called the renal hilus. This is just an indentation that helps the renal artery and renal vein connect to the kidney, and it just helps everything else connect, the kidney connect to the rest of the body. We also see that we have the ureter here, which helps get rid of all the excrement that we do not need. And then the ureter connects the kidney to the bladder. And then we'll open it up. And on the inside here, we have the renal cortex and then the renal medulla. You can see that they're two different shades. So this will be the capsule, the renal capsule, which is the outside. This is the outermost inner part, which is the renal cortex. And then we have the innermost part of this, which is the renal medulla. And then within the medulla, you can see that there are two different colors. And with the medulla, you'll have the pyramids, the renal pyramids. And then what separates the renal pyramids will be kind of the same shade as the renal cortex, which will be the renal columns. And then with the renal pyramids, we will have, this will be the pyramid, and then at the end, kind of the tip here, will be the renal papilla. And the renal papilla just helps connect, um, to minor and major calyxes to help get rid of excrement that we do not need. We also, within the renal cortex, will start having arteries and veins. More specifically, we'll have arcuate vein, we'll have the arcuate arteries will then kind of just give the blood flow to the kidney. We'll also have interlobar arteries and interlobar veins, and these just kind of travel through. And then we also, something we also cannot see would also be the nephron, which will kind of start in the renal cortex and then lead its way down into the renal pyramid. And within the renal pyramid, it kind of travels down with proximal and distal convoluting tubes, also the lip of Helena. And this is where we will start getting everything, all the nutrition and everything else we need from the bloodstream, but also getting rid of all the waste that we do not need. So with the papilla, which is also down here, that'll connect to the minor calyxes. And then from the minor calyxes, it will go down into the major calyx, which will then help connect to the renal pelvis. So that's how urine is created, because we're getting rid of all the excrement that we do not need. So we'll have 4 or 5 minor calyxes merging to form the major calyx. And then, which will then go into the renal pelvis, and then we will go get rid of everything through the ureter here. You can see that the renal pelvis is kind of formed by a wall of thick fibrous tissue that expands and ends with the ureter. We also want to look at the things we couldn't see from the outside, which would be like the renal artery and veins, and then the pelvis in here too. This just connects everything to the rest of the body. And then that will be kind of the whole of the kidney. So just to conclude, we have the capsule here, the cortex, the medulla, which then has the pyramid, and then we have the columns, which is the same kind of portion of the cortex, separating the pyramids, and then we go into the papilla, which will then go into the minor calyx, and then go into the major calyx, and then leave with the sinus and the pelvis. and then go into our ureter, which then gets rid of all the urine, or all the excrement that we do not need, which forms urine. And that is the kidney.